Hi guys, Mary here and welcome to a new edition of Books and Cookies Book Talk. Today is a very special occasion because Books and Cookies is turning 1 year old today. I cannot believe that it's been 1 year already. It's kind of surreal if I really sit and think about it. So I just wanted to take a moment and thank you guys for being with me through all this time, and hopefully this channel will keep getting better and more entertaining as we go so that you will still be around with me a year from now. I decided very spur of the moment to do a Q&A video today to kind of mark the occasion. So I posted on Tumblr about this and I was flooded with questions. I cannot believe I have 4 pages of questions. 4 pages. So thank you to all my Tumblr followers who have sent me questions. It's gonna be so much fun. All of these, except for one, which comes from Megan. Sweet, sweet Megan. All of these are book-related questions and I am so excited to answer them for you guys and hopefully have some fun. So without further ado, let's get to it. Describe your ideal bookshelf or home library aesthetic. I don't know about you guys, but I have yet to encounter a bookworm who does not want a whole room dedicated to books. So ideally, if everything turns out the way I want it to turn out, I would have a whole library room for myself. I want to have shelves on all 4 walls, some sort of reading chair, comfy thing in one of the corners where I can just sit and read. And yeah, I just want a room full of books, basically. If you were given 500 lei, which kind of translates to about a little over 100 euros, which books would you buy? I have a list, okay? Golden Sun, which is the second book in the Red Rising series. 6 of Crows, because I've heard amazing things about that book. Illuminae, which is... Have you seen that? Have you seen that book? It's freaking gorgeous. Tiny Pretty Things, which deals with ballet, and I've kind of been obsessed with ballet for a while now. End of Days, which is the final book in the Penguin and the End of Days trilogy by Susan E. It came out in May of last year and I have still not read it. The Girl on the Train, which has been pegged as perfect for fans of Gone Girl, and I love Gone Girl. And Soul Screamers Volume 2 and 3, because the 4th one is unavailable anywhere. Yeah, and I need to snag the 2nd and 3rd volume before they run out of print. If you could travel to one certain moment of a book and give one person a piece of advice, in which book would you go and what would you advise to whom? I would go in Crown of Midnight by Sarah J. Maas, and I would look for K.L. Westfall and I would tell him to not fall in love with a certain character. That is all I have to say about this. If your life was summed up in a book series, would you read it or parts of it, like possibly the beginning? Yes, I would read it, but only when I'm old. But I would certainly stop when the last chapter began. Keep the ending spoiler-free. What book saga is your all-time favorite, and what books are you looking forward to reading this year? Harry Potter will forever be my all-time favorite series because there's just so much emotion and memories that are tied to that series, and that is something that I could never ever change. As far as books that I am excited to read in 2016, if we're talking new releases, The Song Rising by Samantha Shannon, which is the 3rd book in the Bone Season series, A Court of Mist and Fury, the 2nd book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas, Throne of Glass book 5, of course. And as far as books that I own and have not yet read, really look forward to reading this one right here, which is Winter. This one I have yet to read, The World of Ice and Fire, and I am kind of ashamed with myself that I have not read this yet. Everything Leads to You by Nina LaCour, The Girl of Fire and Thorns by Ray Carson, The Wrath and the Dawn by Renee Adi. I have a lot going on this year. So much. If you could live in any book universe, what book would you choose, knowing that you would have to go through all the events in the book? Harry Potter, hands down. And you have magic. If you could take a character from one book and put them in another, which character would you choose and what book would you place them in? I would totally want to see Rose Hathaway from the Vampire Academy series put in the Throne of Glass universe next to Selena/Aelin. They would fuck shit up so bad. They are 2 of my all-time favorite female characters, and seeing them together would be spectacular. If you could go back and reread any book for the first time again, which book would you choose and why? Can we all pretend that you know my answer is Harry Potter? You know. If you could be born into a fictitious world, which one would you choose? I would choose A Court of Thorns and Roses. I don't know about you, but you have the Spring Court and the Night Court. It's a fun place to be. To have all the fairies, hot dudes. When you want to read a book that was written in English, do you read it in English or in your original language, which is Romanian? Is it important for you? Can you see a difference now between both languages? I don't know if I said this before, but all the books that I read in English. I haven't read a book in Romanian for at least 3 or 4 years. There's definitely a difference, and that difference is the reason why I read only in English. So much that is lost in translation, especially when it comes to literature, because it's very difficult to convey the same feeling that the author was going for in their original work. Reading in English, I just get a whole different experience. It's much easier for me to get immersed in that book universe, to interact with the people that I'm interacting right now. I don't have to wait for translations. I don't get to miss out on books. And truth be told, most of the books that I read, which is YA, does not get translated into Romanian because it's kind of a genre here that is either little known, or if it's known, it's kind of looked down upon. English for the win. Would you rather see a film version of a book before reading it or never see the film adaptation? Now let me tell you something. There have been instances where I saw the film adaptation first and it made me want to read the book. Case in point, The Mortal Instruments. I had absolutely no interest in the series before I saw the movie, but I somehow got obsessed with the movie when it came out, and I saw it and I said I need to read the series immediately. When you see a movie adaptation for a book that you had no idea that was out there and you love the movie, and then you find out there's a book. And it's like angels descending from heaven. Also, something that I forgot. I saw the first Lord of the Rings movie before I even knew there was a series. And I saw the movie and I was like, but it ends here. The person I was with just turns around and says, you know there's a book series, right? And I was like, and then I went and read them all in a week. I have to play Burn, Keep, Rewrite with my top 3 favorite books of 2015. This is evil. I picked some of my favorites from last year. I'm gonna burn A Court of Thorns and Roses because there are certain things that happen in the end of this book that make me a bit wary about the next one. I love this book. I loved it so much. But I don't want it to go towards the place that it seems to be going. Rewrite all the right places. We all know why. I would definitely keep The Mime Order, which was fucking fantastic. I love this book so much. If you could make a line of anything you want, for example, candles, makeup, bookmarks, clothing, what would it be? I would love to have a bookish related items line with like throw pillows and t-shirts and mugs with having books and cookies on them. It would be like a personal brand. One would know me. What are 3 book covers that you think go perfectly with the series, with the stories, and 3 that you think have absolutely nothing to do with them? For the 3 book covers that I think go perfectly, I picked All the Bright Places. It fits like a glove. It's a darker shade of magic. Get the cover once you read the book. Trust me, it's perfect. I have also picked The Winner's Curse by Marie Rudkowski. It's perfect. It captures the essence of Kestrel, which is the main character, absolutely amazingly. As for the 3 books whose covers don't really go with this cover of Ugly Love, the other cover of Ugly Love, the blue one, fits perfectly. This one, it has 2 generic people who seem to be in love on the cover, and the book is so much more than that. Unearthly by Cynthia Hand, generic girl in a long flowing gown. Has nothing to do with the book, nothing. The Sacred Lies of Minal Bly. Now, if you could cast yourself as a book character for a movie or TV show adaptation, which character would you pick? It can work either by looks or personality-wise. I would pick Hermione Granger. I think I would be a kick-ass Hermione. She has always been the book character that I identify with the most. We're bookish, we're nerds, we're very loyal to our friends. Never had a very extensive friend circle, and I see a lot of myself in her. Have you ever come across a scene so violent and disturbing in a book that you absolutely could not read it? If so, what scene was it? I honestly don't recall ever being unable to go through a scene in a book. I recall having difficulties going through a certain scene in Queen of Shadows, but not because it was violent or disturbing, because I wanted to punch the book. But violent and disturbing, no. No, I'm sorry. Do you ever feel bad if you accidentally spoil something for someone, or do you just kind of not care? I would feel mortified. I hate spoilers with a passion, and doing that to someone is, for me, the most evil thing that you could possibly do. Spoil a book or a book series to someone. It's just rude, man. Is there a character in a book that is so annoying, personality-wise, the way they act, the decisions they make, the way they're treating other people? I have had moments when I found Clary Frey from the Mortal Instruments series quite annoying. I don't think I have a character in any book that I found that annoying. Joffrey. Oh god, Joffrey. I'm disappointed in myself that I did not come up with Joffrey Baratheon from the beginning. God, I wanted to murder him. God, he was so annoying. Do you have a shelf on your bookshelf that you just really love, and why? Now, I don't have it here, it's in my other room, but I have a bookshelf with my copies of Daughter of Smoke and Bone, my copies of Throne of Glass, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and some other, The Bone Season, and a few other hardbacks. That is my favorite shelf because they're so pretty and they're hardbacks. And I really cherish my hardbacks because I wish all my books were hardbacks. Unfortunately, that's not possible because they're really expensive. That's my favorite shelf and I love it. Do you prefer to read with music, white noise, or in silence? I can normally read in any circumstances. If I were to pick, I'd probably choose reading with music, but instrumental music. There are a ton of mixes on YouTube with epic music, emotional music, pianos, violins and stuff like that, and it's so awesome to read on it because you just get in the moment, and there are instances where the music fits perfectly with what you're reading, and that is the thing that I prefer to read to the most. If you were able to hang out with one character from any book, which character would you choose to hang out with? I would have to choose Magnus Bane from the Mortal Instruments series because he's freaking awesome. He's a warlock, first and foremost, so that means we can go places and do shit. He's really fun to be around. He's sarcastic, he has a cat. He's just so precious. If you could film video interviews featuring 5 characters from different books, who would they be and what is the one question you would ask each of them? I'd pick Daenerys Targaryen, and I would just ask her when the fuck she's coming to Westeros, because it's been years. I would pick Keol Westfall, and I would ask him to marry me. I would pick Crest from the Lunar Chronicles, and I would ask her to sing with me, like a song, because she's really awesome. I would pick Sansa Stark from the Song of Ice and Fire, and I would ask her if she could be my best friend because she's so awesome and underrated, and I will have a Sansa Stark rant one of these days because I have so many feelings related to this character, and I wish people would stop saying that she's awful and stop criticizing her because she's a sweet, precious cinnamon roll, too good for this world to pure. Last but not least, I would pick Fleetfoot from the Throne of Glass series, and I would not ask Fleetfoot anything, I would just grab her and run. And the last question, which comes from my sweet, sweet dear friend Megan, shout out for Megan. If a krill sneezed in the ocean, does it make a sound? Shit, Megan, I have no fucking idea. No? I don't think so. I don't think so. Anyway, this was my Q&A. I hope you guys had fun. Thank you again so much for sticking with Books and Cookies Book Talk for 1 year, and I will see you guys next time. And remember, books for the soul, cookies for the tummy. Bye everyone!